Humans of the cardboard, let's go! We got our Ritual Beast support here. It is confirmed to be Ritual Beast support. That's very, very exciting for me. This was one of the few archetypes that I really wanted to end up in this set. Hopefully it's as good as the other ones, because the other archetypes that ended up in here got really, really beautiful stuff. Infernoids, Ice Barriers, and Gen X. I don't know. We got 4 cards here. I've read none of them. If you want a quick overview of a video I made before, just basically Ritual Beasts do have a handful of really solid cards. They're just not good enough. So the deck needs help in like every category. It needs help consistently. With consistency. It needs help with power. It doesn't set up very super strong boards at this point. It needs help with resilience. It needs help with being able to actually play through interaction at any point. And yeah, like everything, just needs a little boost of everything. So hopefully this does a good job at rounding the deck out in a good way. All right, so let's get started here. This is Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara. Okay, so this is really cool. I wondered if they were going to do this again. So Ritual Beast is a deck made up of Ritual Beast Tamers, Ritual Beast Tamers and Spiritual Beasts. So it's you have a combination of both, but because this card has Ritual Beast Tamer and Spiritual Beast in the name, it can count as either for materials for certain things. It's really cool. This is a level 1 light psychic, so E-Telly works for this card. Let's hope this card does what we're looking for. You can only special summon Lara once per turn. You can only use the first, second, and third effects once per turn. That sets up nicely. 100 attack, 2000 defense, big booty. You can discard this card. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 Ritual Beast monster from your hand. Okay. If a Ritual Beast card or cards you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard instead. Okay. Not terrible. Okay. And lastly, if this card becomes banished, you can special summon 1 Ritual Beast monster from your deck. Okay, so that is the meat and potatoes. You cannot summon another Lara. Great, that makes sense. That's the meat and potatoes effect. So the third effect's the most important effect here. The second effect's probably the next one, and then the third effect is like a bonus effect. If you get it in grave, it becomes a Balinx for you, which is nice because if you're able to fire this as a Balinx in grave on a later turn, you then get to extend into more Ritual Beast monsters. So that's really cool. Only thing here is this does not appear to be like a full-on starter card by itself, at least not a 1-card starter. I love that E-Telly gets access to this, so it's very easy to get out, and it's another really good target for that. Not a guarantee to get it banished. Oh, no, getting it banished actually be pretty easy. Because if you E-Telly this out and then normal summon any other Ritual Beast, you're able to banish them both, and then that would trigger this card. So I actually think this is a pretty good card. I don't know. I mean, like, my mind is racing right now because I haven't played Ritual Beast in a while, but I do know what pretty much the whole archetype does. I think it's a pretty good card. Getting it on the field, it's just not a 1-card starter, right? So I talked about how a Tour Guide would be phenomenal for the deck, but not necessarily that, but still not bad at all. This is actually a really useful card for the archetype for sure. Next up here we have Ritual Beast Ulti-Noi. Okay, I love the design on it. This dragon looks awesome. I don't like classic big mean dragon designs. This one's a little more colorful and cool. I like this one a lot. This is, it's actually a light worm fusion effect monster. Nice. So a little more Yang Zingy, which I love. This is this card takes any Ritual Beast Tamer plus a Spiritual Beast. It's level 7, 24/19 for the stats. It must be summoned from extra by banishing the above cards you control or from your graveyard. Whoa. Whoa. So you can just banish any Tamer and any Ritual Beast plus a Spiritual Beast from grave just to summon this out. Wow. Okay. Okay, first effect. Your opponent cannot target other Ritual Beast monsters you control with card effects. Okay, nice little protection effect. And then second effect, quick effect. Return this card to the extra deck, then target 1 of your banished Ritual Beast monsters. Special summon it, but it cannot attack directly. Okay, very interesting. So I'm guessing this is just mostly like a combo piece. This just becomes like a free card you can make very easily. This also makes it so that your new monster, even if you use it as like link material to get it engraved, just getting it engraved with any other Ritual Beast monster essentially makes you able to get it banished to extend that way. Okay, this is actually a really good tool. I mean, honestly, the effects aren't even as relevant. The fact that it tags back in is nice, but the biggest thing is just the fact that you can use cards from your grave to banish for it as well. But really cool card. Very cool. All right, now we have a Link 4. Not sure if that's what this deck was looking for, but that's okay. If it's good enough, then maybe the deck is able to maybe abuse some generic cards to get into it. We'll have to see. Okay, so this is Ritual Beast Ulti-Ryari. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It looks like the same dragon again, but a new version with Lara riding it. This is a Wind Psychic Link effect monster. Link 4, 26, actually relatively small for a Link 4. It points 3 arrows down and 1 arrow straight up. 3+ effect monster, so it is very generic. That's cool. And you can only use the second and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. Neither player can tribute cards to activate a card effect. Weird floodgate. This like low key is like nice versus like certain things. I mean, just like random cards, like if Econ's running around the format, just something that tributes like that. That's kind of interesting. Otherwise, I don't expect this floodgate effect to come up all that often, but assuming your deck doesn't use it at all, then like cool, but weird that that's just on there. You can target one of your banished Ritual Beast cards as cost. Return it to the hand or extra deck, then immediately after the effect resolves, normal summon a Ritual Beast monster from your hand. Okay, that's actually a pretty wild extender, because you can not only get a Ritual Beast monster back, but because all of them usually have the stipulation that they can only be special summoned once per turn, period, being able to get them back and normal summon them is really nice. So that's really cool. It's also just a good recovery tool, even just on a later turn if this survives after interrupting your opponent. That's pretty nice. And third effect, during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target a Ritual Beast card you control and one card your opponent controls, banish them. So I believe that includes this card. Unfortunately, this card does not do anything to return itself. Now, this would be a banished Ritual Beast monster, so then I believe, like, if you ever went into a Contact Fusion later on in the duel, you'd be able to, like, tag that out for this guy and bring him back. So that's interesting. And that's pretty hefty to be able to get him back. So I like that he's an interruption, even if he's just the only thing on your field. He's just at any point banish a card. So I'll take it. But of course, like, if you're able to banish something else with more value, you're able to like get it back and normal summon it next turn. I think this is a decent card. It is a Link 4, so that is like some hefty Link material. And with the deck restricting you to only being able to like summon all the names once, special summon all the names once per turn, I wonder if it's good enough. It's going to come down to like combo lines and what we're able to do, especially through interaction. We'll have to wait and see what people cook up when these cards are officially out and like circulating, or just people in the tank just kind of coming up with combos. But very, very cool. And last card here is a continuous spell. Okay, this one can change it all if it's really good. Not that anything's been bad so far, but this one could be one that like seals the deal. So we have Ritual Beast Inheritance. There's a continuous spell. You can only use the second and third effects once per turn. Monsters your opponent controls lose 200 attack for each different type among Ritual Beast monsters you control. Okay, that's nothing too crazy, but like if you spam the board, that could theoretically be 600, 800 maybe. So that's pretty cool. That could help you clear over some stuff, deal some extra damage when you're pushing in. That's fine. Second effect, you can reveal one Ritual Beast monster in your hand, add a Ritual Beast monster with a different type from your deck to your hand, then discard one card. That's really useful. Now, it's not the best Rhoda in the world, like the fact that you have to discard, but I like that if you do get ashed, you don't have to discard, so you save that card in hand. But this is huge. This is just essentially probably a 3 of in the deck just because it guarantees you... It just guarantees that you're able to get a piece you want to your hand and make these combos. Because again, I don't think the deck has 2-card combos, but this is another 3 of that makes the 2, or any 1-card combos. But having this card allows you to pretty much makeshift any 2-card combos you could really want. Because all you need to open it is with like any other Ritual Beast probably, and you're good to go. So still solid there. And third effect, if 2 or more monsters are special summoned to your field at the same time, you can target one monster on the field, change its battle position. I don't think that's all that crazy. Honestly, the first and third effect are like okay, like bonus effects. The real effect's the second effect, and it probably makes this card a 3 of by default. Now, there's a couple of other things for the deck too in terms of consistency. I don't think Pot of Prosperity even existed the last time anyone looked at this deck, so Prosperity is probably an automatic 3 of in the deck, considering the deck probably only has like a handful of actual monsters they make from the extra, so there's a lot of room to banish. But yeah, really interesting stuff here. I'd have to see people start cooking, because I know the lines in Ritual Beast kind of get a little bit intense there and kind of long, so I will have to see if like what they can do now is like good enough and like worth it enough to make a use of all these cards. But honestly, I don't think a single one of these cards is bad. I think they'll all see play. This one definitely. This one for sure as well. Being able to use materials from Grave is really, really strong. Ulti-Ryari is another good one, but not like a man. I mean, you know what? You know what I didn't consider? This is now just a new generic Link 4 that like you could make Appaloosa, or you could make this. As far as like a going first option, if Monster Negate isn't as good for you, you could just make this, and this is just a quick banish. Now, you would lose this card. If you're not playing Ritual Beast, you're probably not able to get this card back super easily, but I don't know. There's worse interruptions out there for sure. So, I don't know. Could be something there. And then this card, just pretty good in consistency card to help the deck make its hands super playable. So that's nice there as well. So, I don't know. I think they're all good. The question is how good, how much better are they going to make the deck? Very curious where we end up there. But let me know your thoughts down below if you have any insight on this archetype, and you know, more experience than I do, because even when I looked into the deck years ago, it was well after the deck was playable. It had already fallen off the map. I just thought it was cool, and so I kind of dug into it myself. So I definitely didn't play it competitively or anything. But if you are a player who used to play this deck in its heyday, or have always just kept an eye on it and know the deck really well, the ins and outs, please let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on these new cards. Are they awesome? Do they take the deck to the next step, to the next stage? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and if there's any other ways to abuse these cards, well, I'd love to hear that as well. So let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't. You want to stay up to date on all things Yu-Gi-Oh! News. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.